Is it too late to make a YouTube channel? We're going to be discussing that today. Let's dive right on into it. So there's a wise saying that the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time to plant a tree is today. And I feel like that holds up very much, not just for planting trees or setting aside finances, but also for creating your YouTube channels. Years ago, I started my very first video game YouTube channel, and since then, I have not only seen new people rise and disappear as the titans of YouTube, but also within that time, I think it's worth mentioning that there have also been a whole bunch of new eras and new catastrophes that have had people say, oh, YouTube is dead, and yet we are still here after all of those supposed YouTube is dead scenarios, and we are still here, and we are still asking ourselves these questions of, oh, should I start a YouTube channel? And so I think it's safe to say that even after another 10 years, YouTube is still going to be here because it has Google, the Titan, backing us up. So if you're worried about, like, oh, I don't want to invest a lot of time in it because YouTube is going to disappear, I can think it's safe to say YouTube is not going to disappear. So that's point one we want to set aside. YouTube is not going to disappear. I think point two we want to address is like, oh, is the channel that I'm going to create, is the idea that I have going to like be worth the time? And there's a whole other videos that I have on SEO that I have. But what I want to dive into this is with a couple of specific examples. First up, I want to talk about PewDiePie. He is one of the big guys who got it on the ground floor of YouTube, and he is there because of his early adoption, because he got it on the ground floor. Now, maybe the idea that you have for a YouTube channel is early in its development, is early there, and you have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor for something new. And with that in mind, I would say, hey, maybe the scene isn't quite flourishing just yet, but you're there because you have the opportunity to get in on something brand new. And I would say go for it in that instance. A lot of times people look at just the negatives of something. They won't make a YouTube video, they won't work on a project because, like, oh, I don't want to jump in on it because there's not a lot of people doing it, and therefore I don't want to make the YouTube video. And then a lot of people start making YouTube videos around this topic or this niche, and then they still say to themselves, well, I don't want to make the YouTube videos now because the market is all dried up. Well, which is it? Are you getting opportunities, like a new opportunity and a new ground floor, or is it just seem all dried up to you? There's always that. If you always are looking for a negative outlook, then you'll always find a negative outlook. But I honestly believe that you might be looking at a new, fresh opportunity and a new niche that is perfect for you. Now let's say it's the opposite. Let's say that, oh, hey, that's not my scenario, but I want to get in on something that is already popular. Then we have a Mr. Beast scenario where he does a lot of money videos, a lot of philanthropy videos. However, he didn't start off like that. He started off making Call of Duty videos. He rode with what's popular. And now you might be saying to yourself, well, I'm not quite sure if I can break into what is popular right now. But how do you know that unless you start building your foundation? I just recently was interviewed for this specific topic, and a piece of advice that I gave was that, like, the best thing you can do is show up. I was in a room with Mr. Beast one time, and he said, like, the only way to fail on YouTube is to stop posting videos. And that's very true. The algorithm will reward you the more and more consistent that you are posting videos for your channel. Now, back when I was in high school, I had a gaming channel, and I have often thought to myself, oh, what if I had stuck with it? What if for the past 10 years I had just kept on posting videos and had kept with that? And often I found myself beating myself up for like, hey, why didn't I just keep posting YouTube videos? I might be at like the top of my, I would be at the top of my game by now. I would be at the top of my category. And if you find yourself in this similar situation, like you accidentally planted your tree 10 years ago and you didn't keep watering it, I would say that much like myself, I wasn't in the position that I wasn't the person that I needed to be in order to keep posting videos. I wasn't the person that I needed to be in order to keep running an online business. But now I am. Now I am in that position. And so don't find yourself beating yourself up over the what ifs. Find yourself in that now situation where you can water the tree. Because that is what's really important. Now you know the situations. Now you are the person that can like have the right camera equipment. Now you are the person that has the knowledge to edit videos, and that's what's important. And now you have the ability and the tools at your disposal. Don't worry about what you could have done or didn't have at the time. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our links below in the description of our video, and as always, be sure to like and subscribe for more tech tips and more YouTube help. And as always, my friends, be sure to stay safe and stay healthy.